little bit of a mix-up to how they've decided to call things in his absence, but we will have to see if they've been able to figure out what's been going wrong and see if they can fix it, as I think we are about to go live on this very first map here.
Yeah, we are live on Snakewater for the first map out of the best of 3 series. Again, FroyoJiminy versus Leica G6. The penultimate fight now, the absolute final one. After this is decided, it will determine who walks away with that $300 prize pool and who goes away with $150. Right off the bat, Banny is taking so much damage, it's just going to get walked at by Bomo and eating a lot of damage from Logan there as well. Patty is going to be able to find Cap there, and Soapy going to be able to find Gungan. Brand Slam finding Logan there as well with bot mode dying. FroyoTech lost a lot of players early on in that mid, but was able to claw themselves back, keeping Hubada alive there. Very, very crucial with Lol Guy dying there. G6 is kind of forced to hold all the way back on their last. Soapy Meister is able to get Patty, but there's only so much that Soapy can do there when he has to go into a wall of 3 FroyoJiminy players. So it does look like FroyoJiminy going to be the victors for this first mid, and they are steamrolling their way into second, trying to get themselves a foothold as quickly as possible, not wanting to give up any time or any space if they can afford to.
Yeah, they're just trying to pick the second door, see if maybe there was some way they could hold on to it before FroyoJiminy got their way in. But now they're just going to have to back up. FroyoJiminy do have a fairly big Uber advantage, around about 40%, and they are going to take it in through this right side. Gungan leading the charge, instantly sees a soldier right by the shutter door. It is High Five who falls to his death. That's going to be one pick going in their way. They find a sentry gun now. Everyone in G6 over in spawn going to rotate through the right-hand side, try to get out and recontest here, but soldiers just instantly bomb. They find one onto Soapy Meister, but everyone else, the scouts and Logan, having a field day just cleaning house right now. Logan, very weak. It's going to be a demo v demo, but this time it is going to be Uber in the favor of G6. Artist actually just standing above, getting the arrow, is still going to die, but that does buy time for Hubada to slip out sneakily to safety. And that is going to be G6 holding on to their last, but if they want to try and recontest second here, they got to be quick because the Froyo spawners are already here.
Yeah, FroyoTech has their, or FroyoJiminy rather, has their spawners up and ready to rumble. They do find Logan there as he's a little bit overextended, and they are going to roll with that pick as we already see them trying to get through the top right. Gungan is going to be able to find that pick onto Cap, but Patty is going to die for it. They do have someone in on top of the point here. I do this. This is Banny trying to get as much cap time as humanly possible, and he's successful in that, distracting the entirety of Leica G6, forcing them to turn their eyes and look at the point to shoot the Froyo menace that has threatened their cap. And unfortunately for the rest of G6, they are just going to get taken down by the players pushing in off of that distraction. But beyond that, looks like we're going to be going back into this mid standard, business as usual. Logan is eating a lot of damage early on here, though. He's going to have to take an arrow, and now High Five is actually pretty weak. We haven't seen any double bombs come out just yet, but now as I say that, we're going to see Soapy Meister and High Five landing, trying to find Hubada. Only one rocket lands on him, though. High Five coming to reaggress through Catwalk here, lands a nice rocket onto Hubada, and does manage to find Patty, but is traded out by Banny here. Bomo is able to pick up Hubada, though, at the tail end of that fight. Now Lol Guy is just attached to Cap here, and they are trying to get out with as much Uber as they possibly can. They don't want to drop Lol Guy here. Lol Guy doesn't want to, get called drop guy by Banny again here. As speaking of Banny, we do see him already in yard, spawning for information on second, getting his team some of that crucial and juicy information.
Yeah, and FroyoJiminy, are going to have to get into their defensive positions because Lol Guy did survive, so that is going to be Uber that G6 can use to try and retake middle. You instantly see Caps on that high ground, just going to be trying to stuff Banny, but there's going to be Patty doing some nice damage onto Lol Guy, does get the force out. Caps is going to go down, dropped in that Uber, so they don't really have anyone to chase all these FroyoJiminy players with, and they didn't even get Patty, who's in the back line. He's going to maybe try and go for a back cap even. Logan taking so much damage. Everyone is just looking at different doorways right now. Some are looking above, some are trying to get Patty in behind. They do finally manage to get them, and that is going to give G6 a little bit of breathing room. They might find one on the Brand Slam. Actually, Botmo just going in does find that one, but they are going to trade 2 for it, so it is going to end up being player advantage in the favor of FroyoJiminy, especially more concerning for G6 is the fact that they also have Uber, so that's going to be a bomb from Banny, just making some space, seeing where all the enemies are. They're in lobby, so everyone else on the team can walk in for free. They're going to be able to get second here, and I don't think they're going to be able to go quick enough to use this Uber add on to mid low guy, or sorry, on to last. Low guy has been doing well to build up there, so it is going to be even Ubers, but G6 still not in a great position.
Yeah, G6 is really grasping at straws here as Patty is able to get through onto Logan. Is going to be able to find him. That is going to be Patty and Gungan both dying for it. Banny's already in on the point, getting some cap time, but it's not really worth anything as 3-4 players now on the side of FroyoJiminy are taken down. Hubada and Artis do manage to survive, so they do manage to hold on to that Uber, but I guess the real question is now, how long will they be able to hold on to that Uber? Will G6 try and send someone through as soon as they possibly can, or will they respect the player, or will they respect the even players, respect that they're down a player, and try and play a little bit more, defensive as we watch FroyoTech trying to push in through lower here, getting in just into yard. Not really pushing at all. Banny is going to be going for a high bomb and landing over by Pack, and now Patty coming in off the tail end of that. Lol guy is pretty much 1 HP here. One good bomb for Banny could do it. He forces to the bomb. If he didn't there, he would have died, so it's a kind of necessary thing to have done. That Uber does come out from the side of FroyoJiminy as well. Both Ubers not really amounting to much besides 2 picks. Both soldiers on the side of FroyoJiminy have been taken down here, and Brand Slam is actually coming in from the flank to try and get something, but what a rocket from High Five to just shut him down.
Yeah, High Five with that flick, a nice full body rocket on the Brand Slam, sends him to the respawn room, and with that they tried the peek, see if maybe they could send someone in and get the pick on to Hubada, but instead they're just going to play defensively on second, get things locked down and slow down the game a little bit. FroyoTech have really been the ones kind of dictating the pace so far, so if G6 can make them play their game, make them play at their pace instead, that would be very, very good for them. It's now FroyoTech getting over into Saw. They're trying to figure out how they want to sack here. Banny taking a bit of damage, is going to have to wait for some type of error over on Catwalk before they start initiating things. And they all eyes really on the soldiers. I think actually Banny is kind of playing roamer, at least judging by the heals that we saw in the match that they played previously. So I think Patty, I guess, taking up that pocket role, because that's how FroyoTech normally would play. Patty on pocket, Laz on roamer. So I think Banny just filling in for Laz instead. As Patty does go in, he dies over by Saw. That was an initiation attempt. Didn't work out. Banny taking a lot of damage over in Saw. Is getting chased by Soapy Meister as the combo of G6 gets in to lower. They find one in Gungan, so it's going to be 2 down on Froyo. But you see they're immediately trying to shove the Saw area. Brand Slam trying to threaten that back half play, so everyone on G6 have to back up, making sure that they don't allow FroyoJiminy to just get in for free through that angle. So a really great heads-up play from Brand Slam, recognizing that Saw was a little bit open there and threatening the backup just enough, forcing everyone back and setting us back into a nice 6v6 stalemate situation.
Yeah, you may not like to see the 6v6 stalemates, but that is the name of the game on Snakewater, and that is just kind of how it plays out, especially when you're holding second right here. It usually will just devolve into who can sack the best. It does look like they are trying to push out through Saw with a little bit of pressure coming from lower, and I think you may be right about Banny playing roamer, as he is pressuring with Brand Slam out through yard, but I do think we're seeing a pause right now, as the situation for G6 is not looking great. Their health is pretty poor, and it looks like FroyoJiminy has a very good idea of how they want to go about this.
Yeah, it looks like they have a lot of space to work with. I mean, you look at Gungan, seems like he should be able to get the pick on to Soapy Meister. Soapy is he's got one rocket headed straight towards Gungan. I don't think Gungan's going to be able to dodge that one, but Soapy very weak at only 35 hit points, so probably not too long for this life. And then once that happens, Gungan, or maybe even Patty, can get in through Cheese and start doing things behind Brand Slam and Brand Slam and Banny have a lot of great space over in yard. Like you said, Caps bot mode. Both of them are very weak, and it's really only Caps kind of looking at these two flank players over in lower. So everyone else, bot mode, Logan, high fives, they're all paying attention towards Saw, where there's no one really in position to kind of contest Froyo Tech here. So Froyo, thing is, they just have a lot of space, and they have a lot of ways that they can maybe get someone in behind or just kind of distract G6 in a way that allows them to win a nice team fight. So gonna be exciting to see how it is. I think we had a little bit of a unpause, repause type of thing to get someone into the server. So hopefully we'll be going live pretty shortly.
Yeah, I'm assuming if it's just a quick little unpause, repause, I don't think we'll be sitting here watching watching this pause go on for much longer. But I do think Froyo here is probably going to win this next push. I mean, they've just got such better health. Their positioning is a lot better. I mean, they have so much pressure coming in from lower as well. I think Cap or even Bomo may die. I think Brand Slam could potentially jump up onto the shack here and maybe even get both of them if he can choose his targets wisely. But looking at it as well, Patty has enough health to try and go for some kind of bomb, could try and fade, could try and pressure, maybe even land on the lol guy and get the force out. There's a lot of opportunity for FroyoJiminy to make something happen here, especially with the health of G6 being as low as it is. I mean, Soapy can't really do anything. He's all the way in cheese as well, and he's getting fought by Gungan. So I'm pretty sure Soapy Meister is probably going to meet his demise here relatively soon after this unpause comes through. Although he might be able to knock Gungan away just in time. Gungan does have a rocket careening towards his toe. Could knock Gungan away just enough to not have to worry about dying, and that's exactly what will happen. Gungan does get knocked away as this unpause comes through. It looks like Patty's going to be going for the bomb. Bot mode is going to be able to find him, though. It is going to be Logan getting dropped by Brand Slam. Brand Slam going to get traded out by Cap here as 5 players still remain alive for the side of Leica G6, and 4 players remain alive for the side of FroyoJiminy.
Yeah, and Banny is going to go down, actually, so this has actually worked out fairly well for Leica G6. They do still have a dead Logan, meaning that there's no demo with that combo to really provide all of that firepower. So even with those 2 players down on FroyoJiminy, they can't really do anything with it. So instead, they're just going to sit on second and slow the game down once again. I don't know if my timer is correct, but I think there's only 30 seconds left before we get to a round reset. So if you're Froyo Tech, you're looking to try and take an Uber exchange or just go all in while you still can. We have Brand Slam rushing in. Patty is going to go down. They do find Logan once again. Unfortunate for him, he has been the kind of sole victim of these plays from FroyoJiminy. But that's still not going to mean too much is going to happen. You do see G6 trying to poke this bot mode was over in kitchen. It might die actually to ban in with that pick. Oh, it's too late. Yeah, the round reset happens, and if the round reset wasn't there, you would expect FroyoJiminy to really start getting in, because that's a flank player down. You can abuse the flank a bit more, but with the round reset, that means we're just going right back to another mid fight.
Yeah, we are going to be seeing that little repeat here as we are going to be moving on into the next mid-fight. Unfortunately for either team here, they just couldn't break that second stalemate, which is all too common of an issue on a map like Snakewater. But hopefully this time, maybe one of these teams will be able to have enough momentum to push through that kind of wall and break through that barrier. Brand Slam is going to be fighting the top right side, going to be fighting the red side of height here, as damage is just getting traded across the point right now. There's no bombs or anything coming out. No one's trying to commit. It does look like High Five wanted to go for something there, but wasn't quite able to. Soapy Meister just watching as soldiers do start to come through. Brand Slam does fall. Soapy bombs in, lands a nice rocket onto Hubada, is waiting for the re-aggress attempt. Does see a window, but does get taken down by Gungan. But at the back end, Bandy does get taken down by bomb mode. Cap is going to be able to find Gungan as well, and that is a mid secured for like a G6, and they're leaving Bomo to Cap as the rest of their combo flies forward with extreme speed, trying to find that force onto Hubada if they can. They're not quite able to, so they will have to transition into getting ready to play for sacks and taking out any guns or anything that gets set up on last. But time will tell what G6 wants to do, as Brandslam is actually able to just walk through lower and take down high five. Hubba drops to Logan though, and Banny dies to bot mode as well with help from Soapymeister. Bot mode finally getting traded out by Brandslam here. This is detrimental to the side of FroyoJiminy here, as Lolguy doesn't yet have Uber, but he doesn't need it. He can just build this out and wait for his players, and they'll be able to charge into last without a care in the world.
Yeah, Hubba going down there means that it's going to be a perfect opportunity for G6 to get their first round on the board, make it a tie game. They're just going to wait for, like you said, all the respawners get nice and buffed up over in lobby. The call has been made. We're going to take it in through Shutter. Just going to insta-pop on their scout and demo, because there is a sniper, Brandslam, watching that Shutter door. He knows what's going on, in an ideal pick from him here would spell disaster for G6's push. They are going to bomb in Logan towards the left side. Banny over on the high ground, just trying to jump around, stay alive for as long as possible. Gungan on the heavy weapons guy over in spawn. They do find one onto Patty, but the Uber has been expended now, so anything else is just going to be a bonus. Spot mode getting two nice picks right there onto Brandslam and Gungan. Another onto Banny. They got the cap time, and that should be a round for Leica G6, making it a tie game.
Yeah, making it a tie game here is absolutely what Leica G6 kind of needs in this situation. You know, they're getting that momentum back, and I feel Snakewater is definitely a map that it lends itself to snowballs. You know, if you get a little bit of momentum, you can make it go a long way, and that's what I was talking about earlier, where hopefully one of those teams could get enough momentum to hopefully push through that kind of second stalemate barrier, and we saw that happen with Leica G6 here. They had that momentum, and they were able to just keep pushing through. Now, we do see Patty going into Red Kitchen here, is going to be met by Soapymeister and will win the 1v1, but isn't going to go for the pack. Is just going to get the arrow and try and waddle out to bully any of the players he can see. Only directs from Patty, as he just directs Logan and Lolguy from across the map. Gungan running forward, trying to find anything that he possibly can, maybe a pick or two. Both scouts still left alive on the side of FroyoJiminy, as Leica G6 is struggling really to keep their players alive. It is Lolguy being forced to use that Uber to keep their players alive, and Gungan is still alive on second, looking to maybe bully any spawners that come out. Soapymeister, I don't think, noticed him, but looks like the 1v1 between Bomo and Gungan going on inside of Red Lobby, and now an all-out brawl could be in the cards between Froyo and G6, as we watch both of them get ready to anticipate Froyo pushing into mid.
Yeah, FroyoTech, they do have Uber advantage because Hubba stayed alive, and I didn't have to use Uber over on the mid. Good use, actually, from Lolguy to just guarantee those picks and get their team that territory advantage. But now FroyoJiminy have their opportunity to try and respond. They're going to be going in through Saw, just bombing Artist in very, very deep. He might be caught out here by one of the soldiers. High five tries to go onto him, but great stuff from Brandslam defending their demo. Been able to keep Artist alive there. So that has been a very good Uber use from FroyoJiminy, getting two picks and also getting the point as well. I mean, G6, it is going to be a leapfrog situation, so they do have Uber now, but there's no one watching this flank, allowing Brandslam to just run in behind. They are none the wiser right now, and so they have to be concerned. I don't think that they know. The respawners don't know, and I don't think Brandslam is going to go and try and fight them. He's instead just going to be in the back lines. If G6 tried to go for something right here, he could opt to go for a back cap, or he can just give his team information. Seems like Haps is going into Saw. They're thinking about taking this Uber, but they know they've expended a lot of time anyway, so I don't think they're going to do it. Brandslam in behind. If FroyoJiminy can send one of their soldiers in and just kind of corral Lolguy into an easily exploitable area, this could be a really great pincer play, but I think Brandslam has been spotted. They have so many people going for him. Patty is coming to try and help, but that's just going to be 2 down instead.
Yeah, 2 down for the side of FroyoJiminy here. A very, very botched attempt to try and get anything out of Brandslam, just being kind of caught behind them. Brandslam just dies so early as well. It's just not great for the side of FroyoJiminy there. But hopefully G6 will be able to maybe try and push off of this. But with bot mode being dead, I think they're going to opt to relax instead, and just, we're going to see another second stalemate situation as Banny jumps through, is going to be in yard, going Africa now, trying to find his way through and just get where he is not spotted. It is going to be Patty jumping forward. Brandslam going to be able to make the opening pick onto high five. Cap is going to be able to find Brand Slam here, but it's Patty jumping onto Logan. I think Guy barely misses that arrow, isn't quite able to save Logan. That Uber does get forced out from the side of Like a G6, and now it's going to be FroyoJiminy holding onto it for dear life as Like a G6 is going to be pretty much botting for Hubada if they want to try and make something happen here. Otherwise, they need to get all the way back out to last. I think that's what Cap was going for. Just wasn't quite able to do anything. And what great pipes from Artist as Soapy Meister gets deleted during his bomb. FroyoJiminy just looking to take this Uber into last.
Yeah, they're going to be walking in through the top left. Gungan making their way over to the point, getting some early cap time. Now the Uber is going to come out from that bomb from high five. Logan getting one pick onto Patty, but they're going to need to get a lot more if they want to try and hold on to this last point. Actually, Soapy getting a lot. Caps finding a one as well and speak it into existence like a G6 just did there, holding on to their last point and keeping it a tie game for just a little bit longer. Going to be able to recapture up to, and just a really, really great defense there from all of them. Guy staying alive means they're going to have a very big Uber advantage, and they also sent Hubada back to the still the forward spawns, but not as forward as it could be, allowing G6 to just get on to mid for free. No one in the forward spawns that they have to worry about. There is Banning up on Sniper. He has gone out of the forward spawn, so he's going to be stuck on it for just a little bit. Let's see if G6 have been able to notice that and if they can play around it.
Yeah, if G6 is able to notice that, it will give them a pretty big opportunity to push through. They do Uber through. They are going to be using in to try and get as many picks as possible. It is going to be high five, able to find a pick onto Patty, with Bandy still up on Sniper here. Not quite able to find any picks. He is looking top right to maybe see if he can catch anyone that jumps through. Does spot Soapy Meister, who is going to be fighting Brand Slam, but Soapy Meister not quite able to get away. Brand Slam going to be able to pick up that pick right at the tail end of the fight. Bot Mode going to be able to trade out with him, and Artist is going to be able to find Bot Mode. High five and Cap both going down to Gungan here with 4 players down. Like a G6 is forced to leave second again and hand it back over to Froyo. We are just going to see second stalemate after second stalemate after second stalemate between these two teams, I think.
Yeah, it's been very, very back and forth on this actually fourth round, considering the round reset. FroyoJiminy do have Uber advantage. They are going to be bombing in Artist. They might be able to capture out Logan, and they will, trying to escape through lower. I don't think anyone else is catchable. There is bot mode up on the Sniper in the forward spawn. He's going to be forced to back spawn. Soapy Meister as well actually goes down, and that is going to make G6 think twice a little bit about trying to hold on to second. They do have Uber advantage here. Patty is going to just try and fade bomb around, be a little bit of a nuisance, but not really gets any much. But they just rip it in. They find both of the soldiers, Patty and Banny, both going down. Brand Slam in behind, trying to be for the play onto Guy, is not going to be able to find the kill, but Gungan with the pistol should be able to make it count, running in, trying to get onto Guy surviving. Actually, is been able to manage to escape that unscathed. Really great stuff from him, just dodging all of those bullets, that tricky movement. And because of that, him staying live, like a G6, are going to be able to capture up this midpoint. Not going to be able to deny anyone on FroyoJiminy except for Gungan, but that doesn't stop FroyoJiminy from having a big Uber ad to try and use in onto mid if they're feeling confident enough.
Yeah, FroyoJiminy, they don't even really need confidence here, really. I mean, obviously confidence will get you through, but they really just need to rip it if they want to make something happen off of it. They are going to send Artist in deep, who is going to be able to find bot mode, is barely caught up to by Hubada, but that Uber might not have been really worth it. Only finding bot mode there with that full Uber ad, it is just not worth it. Does look like Banny is going to be bombing in from behind, landing onto Catwalk and doing a lot of damage to both Soapy and High Five. A lot of stickies are on the floor as well. Logan dies as Guy misses the arrow. Oh no. It's unfortunate for like a G6 here, but they haven't used their Uber yet, which is massive. Sitting on 50% ad, you could potentially find a way to get into second and rip it straight into last if you are quick enough with it. But Patty is still in forward spawn, waiting to be called in. No, he actually takes the back spawn, not wanting to risk potentially feeding and losing his team that last point, which I can respect. There's only 9 minutes left until that infinite overtime kicks in. Scoreline is still tied up 1-1. So with that ad completely gone now, about 95 Uber for the side of FroyoJiminy, there's only so much that like a G6 can do at this point in time. They're probably going to have to start going for sacks.
Yeah, they are going to have to start going for sex because, like you said, it is even Ubers. So, question is, how did they try and do that? Good early attempt. You know, they take down the sentry gun, but you have to be quick. And we do see High Five go in, but they do lose 2 bot mode and High Five. That is okay, all things considered, as long as they can get into their positions and deny anyone on FroyoJiminy from having an easy attempt at trying to counter sack in. But they're doing a lot of damage on the Caps and Soapy. They're all on this little corner. They should be cleaned up. Banny bombing in is going to be able to clean up on Soapy, and that's just going to open all the doorways up for FroyoJiminy. Patty bombing in, getting the easiest force of his life onto Lolguy. Logan is actually going to be able to stay alive. Nice
What?
from Lolguy to keep his demo man up. But how about goes down there? I didn't even see how that happened, but what was looking really great for FroyoJiminy has just turned into disaster. They're going to be at very big Uber disadvantage, allowing Like a G6 to, it seems like they just want to immediately go in here.
I mean, yeah, if you have a drop like that, it's not a horrible idea to try and just send it in. They do find Artist, Banny, and Patty here. Now they're looking for Hubada as well, as Hubada gets taken down to about 70 HP. Is slowly regenning it, though. Like a G6 is trying to move as a unit here. Soapy Meister bombs on top of the point. Is going to be able to hit a nice rocket on the Brand Slam. Is going to be able to take him down. A lot of cap time on the point. And that is a final pipe from Logan here to wrap up that round. G6 going to be able to find that second round and put themselves up on the board with 7 minutes 25 remaining until infinite overtime kicks in. This is probably going to be a game where no one gets to 5.
Probably, judging on how slow the past few rounds have been, and considering we've already seen 1 round reset, wouldn't be surprised to see another Snakewater. Is one of those slower maps when you have 2 teams that are as equally matched as these ones are. But Gungan going to be over on the high ground. Brand Slam just trying to play around their medic. FroyoTech being very skewed towards that left side area. Now they're going to be trying to get a bit more presence over on the point. Both soldiers going to be bombing in behind. They do find Lolguy for their trouble. And now the question is, can they keep Hubada alive? Soapy Meister instantly getting in through lower, going to be trying to jump. Reads it into Saw, is only going to find Patty for his troubles, actually loses that. And I think with that pick, FroyoJiminy are going to be a lot more confident to immediately re-push back in onto mid. Artist walking out through Catwalk. High Five, however, is in lower. Could go for the play. Actually finds Patty once again and meets his demise. Both the soldiers on Like a G6 not having a lot of success getting onto the medic on that mid, but because of that, FroyoJiminy are going to be able to capture up mid. They're going to have a big Uber advantage, and they should be able to immediately take it on to second.
Yeah, with FroyoJiminy having such great Uber ad, there's only so much Like a G6 can do in terms of defending their second. As long as they keep Lolguy alive for long enough, they'll be able to have that Uber ready for the defense on last. And it looks like that is what they are going for here. About 80% Uber for the side of Like a G6, and FroyoJiminy is setting themselves up in lobby to try and spam down that gun. They don't want it to even get past level 1, which is respectable. I mean, you got to take it down early. Banny does spot the sniper, but not before eating a body shot, fully charged body shot from, I believe that was bot mode. I'm not too sure. Logan is going to get taken down here, but so is Patty, getting traded out by Cap here, as bot mode, just pulling up on the heavy now, is able to get those players to back away from the top right side. Soapy Meister eating a lot of spam, though, as Banny jumps through. Oh my goodness! Soapy Meister going to find Banny. Artist going to be the one taking him down with a nice air pipe. Too many things happening at once.
Oh my god!
Artist going to be able to take down High Five. Oh my god! Someone stop that man. Check his PC. The Uber does get used on the side of FroyoJiminy, as it looks like G6 now only just using their Uber. I think getting forced by Patty there. Unfortunate for Like a G6 to have to use in that situation, but you know, it's better than dropping, and at least you got Hub to use as well.
Yeah, getting a Hubada to use is going to be very good for Like a G6. Banny jumping in to try and see if there's anything they can possibly do to slow down this G6 aggression, but it's going to be Artist with the pipes on the Caps to be the one to slow it down. Logan very weak, trying to escape, should be able to get out safely, but immediately Banny already getting in through lower. Gungan as well. The combo of FroyoTech just so quick and so aggressive here. They do find one onto Banny. Patty very weak over in Cheese, but it's the picks are going in the favor of FroyoJiminy right now. now the rest of the combo of G6 just trying to escape through Shutter. They should be able to stay alive. Ubers are going to be even, but wouldn't be too surprised to see FroyoJiminy try and go for a sack here. Patty is jumping through, is going to land on the point, actually getting a lot of cap time, and then the Uber is going to come out. Hubba just getting bombed over on the left-hand side. It's going to be a much later Uber from Froyo, but they might be penned in. Nice pick from Caps. The respawners from G6 are up here. It's going to be Banny, Gungan, and Hubba versus the two soldiers and Lolguy. The
Banny's
soldiers bombing through.
Cap.
Is so much cap time onto the point. Soapy Meister going to get the better of that one, and no medics dead, so it is still going to be even Ubers. And with both teams kind of retreating a little bit, I think it's going to turn into a classic even Ubers 6v6 stalemate. But that was so close if you're like a G6.
Yeah, like a G6, barely managing to hold on to the point by the hairs on their chinny chin. There's no way for them to really hold on for dear life like that again. I mean, that was a once in a lifetime kind of hold. As we do see Gungan trying to push through, is going to be completely isolated though. Doesn't die, somehow gets saved, and Patty is able to find bot mode Sentry as
Banny on
well.
Spy.
They do have a spy on the point, going for the back cap. Banny's getting so much cap time. It's just the engineer ready to defend against him. Cap is able to find him. High 5 and bot mode both get taken down. There's so much cap time. They have to pay attention to that point. Lolguy is going to Uber on top of it, but now it's left wide open. The only thing defending it really is that level 1 Sentry, but all of the players on FroyoJiminy have perished. It is just Artist and Hubba solely backing out of lobby, and Artist actually almost takes themselves down, but luckily is able to fall back into the loving embrace of Hubba, just making sure that they don't die there. And this is another situation where G6 has clung on to life just barely and has managed to crawl their way back into holding.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate for FroyoJiminy, because if they were able to get the Uber onto Brandslam there and save them, I think that could have been around. But Brandslam going down and the Uber only being on Artist meant that it was very easy at that point for like a G6 to hold on to it. But it is still going to be FroyoTech with more map control, meaning they're going to have an opportunity to try and push in onto G6's last. They tried to go for the point play last time, which is pretty heads up considering how much point time they already had. Patty is going to be aggressive over on the left side. Brandslam is going to go in as well, so that's going to be the flank being dead for FroyoJiminy. Banny also might fall over in lobby. He's disconnected, but is somehow going to manage to get out there. Very good for him, because if he dies there, that could have been an easy opening for G6 to try and take advantage of. But instead, they're all going to stay alive. Interested to see no off classes yet from FroyoJiminy. They haven't rocked up with a sniper or anything like that. They did have Banny go spy, but that wasn't even really to try and get a pick. That was just to play the cap time a little bit. We do have another pause, so at the bare minimum, that tells us that no one wins in the next 90 seconds. Going to be interested to see how it plays out, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think the G6 strategy here is, because there were only 2 minutes left on that clock just a little bit ago, they were just gonna dwindle it down. You know, they were gonna let the round reset, because the round reset timer was pretty much on par with the infinite overtime countdown. So I think the G6 strategy there was to kind of just let the timer dwindle out and fade away, and make sure that they are able to just go ahead and play out that next mid and try to get the snowball momentum there, so they can take Snakewater away from FroyoJiminy as soon as the next game starts. I do think, though, we are going to be witnessing, whatever happens next, this is going to be a very intense fight. Whatever happens, I think FroyoJiminy is probably going to try and make some kind of push once we hit, I don't know, probably the 40-second, maybe 30-second mark of the clock, once everything actually unpauses here. And I think, like you said, the pause kind of indicates that nobody wins anything within the next 90 seconds. And I think this could be a pause from either side, just trying to figure out, okay, what do we want to do? How are we going to do this? We need to steamroll really quick, because we can't sit on this anymore.
Yeah, it is a good opportunity for both of them to try and figure out what's been going wrong, because on one hand, if you're G6, obviously, you are in the lead and you're doing a lot better than you did previously the last time these two teams played earlier in the monthly. But still, they're definitely not doing as well as they'd like to do. I know they think that, hey, we should be coming in here. We should be rolling these guys. We're the land champions. What the heck? So definitely some things for them to try and work on. And then on the other thing, if you're FroyoJiminy, you also got to be thinking, wait, what the heck? We just rolled these guys like a map or two ago. What's going on here? Why is it so much closer? And I think it was just kind of miscoordination from G6 over on Metalworks. They didn't really have a good game plan on the mids. Freyotech had a much better one, and they were just able to chase. G6 were kind of caught out a little bit. Like some players would be maybe a little bit too aggressive or too far forward. Logan sometimes would be caught out, and when someone like Logan is being caught out, who is like one of the big damage dealers, that's really hard to recover from. But the game is live once again, and it's still going to be Freyotech trying to push in onto G6's last.
G6 is clinging on for dear life here. We do see Gungan and Artist trying to push out from the top left, but it's not successful as High Five and Soapy Meister are both able to find Banny and Patty here. Both soldiers being dead on the side of FroyoJiminy pretty much means that there's nothing left for them to do. They're down their players. They have to wait for them to spawn up, which they are going to be able to arrive in time for one last Hail Mary push, try and get that overtime to kick in while they cap the objective, but I don't think it's going to work out the way they're hoping it will. That Uber does come out from lower, and the counter pop does come out from the side of like a G6. Gungan is going to be going for that sentry. It doesn't go down as fast as they were hoping for, though, and it is going to be a stalemate. 2-1 in favor of like a G6, and the round limit has been reduced to 3. So G6 only needs one more round to take home Snakewater and send us over to the second map.
Yep, just one more round for like a G6. If you're FroyoJiminy, you need to, and this was FroyoJiminy's map pick, so this is, the map they thought they had the best chance of winning on. Let's see if maybe they can do that. That is actually where the pause happened, kind of in the middle of the mid fight, and seems like a few people kind of disconnected from the server, so I think what's going to happen is we're just going to go into a little bit of a reset. It was at the start of the mid. Doesn't really change anything. They're just gonna, wipe the slate clean, call it whatever, and then go again. As now, maybe it was a config issue as well. Sometimes these players don't have it completely up to scratch sometimes, which can make for some funny moments, but they're just gonna set the win limit to 2. They'll just know that if like a G6 get one more round, they will have won. And then FroyoJiminy have to get to that 2-round marker, and then they can be the victors of map 1.
Absolutely, and I do think they are starting to rup here. I do think FroyoJiminy is the only one we are waiting on to press the rup button. It's looking pretty rough for either side soldiers here. We haven't seen a lot of plays coming out from Patty or Banny, and likewise, we haven't seen a lot of plays coming out from Soapy or I can't remember his name for the life of me. I don't know why I'm forgetting. Soapy and his High Five. Yes, High Five. There we go. I got dementia. I don't know. Soapy and High Five also are struggling to have a lot of things happen and make a lot of things go their way. And I think that's just the nature of how stalemate Snakewater is, how it is kind of a struggle a lot of the time to even get your soldiers through anywhere. So, they're trying their hardest, but they can only do so much.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Patty not having a great game. To be fair, Banny as well. Both of them not really having great games, at least on a stats perspective. Patty going 8-26, Banny going 4-21. So not having the best success out there. Obviously, some of that is just, Banny is the roamer. So he's just going to be jumping in, trying to make plays happen as you do. But definitely, not a great time for the soldiers. On the flip side of things, are just having a very good game. 15-7, 306 DPM, doing a lot of damage there for the rest of the team to try and clean up on. And for the top damager for G6 is going to be Caps. 29 and 11, just kind of probably just from farming the soldiers is what you'd expect for it to be. Probably just shooting all the soldiers, trying to get onto Lol Guy, and he's been doing a pretty good job of that. Also, some of it has been pretty stalematy, like you said, and it's a little bit easier for the demos to get some damage in those stalemate situations. But I definitely agree for either team, whoever can get their soldiers online first and who can ever help them have more impact in the game is probably going to come out as the winner here, because otherwise it's been pretty tough.
Yeah, it's been pretty tough for both of these soldiers. Honestly, I feel them. I mean, I've been in that position before where it's just impossible to get anything done. Their scouts are just mulching you every time you go. Maybe there's a lack of pressure when you want to sack, or things are just not going your way. It's just an awful, awful feeling. At some point you're kind of just like, all right, well, I'm just going to go for the Hail Mary play, whatever. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And, obviously these guys, great mental. I don't think they're going to break that easily. It's a game of snake water. They know how the game is played. They know that this map can either be the fastest game you've ever played in your life, or it can go for, an hour long. It is hard to, it's hard to kind of predict how a game will go. And when you have the two titans of TF2 going up against each other, Froyo and G6, some maps are just destined to become stalemate fests. And there's only so much you can really do to combat it.
Yeah, only so much that you can do to combat it sometimes when it just gets incredibly stalemated. I think we were just waiting on High Five to restart his computer. I see that he is now joined the game, so hopefully we should be going live pretty soon here. But I mean, FroyoJiminy, however you want to call them, definitely in a little bit of a weird position considering how they performed in the semifinals to like a G6. And we did say this is their map pick, so if they lose this one, they're going to be in a very sticky situation considering the next one is Bagel, which is already kind of an upset map just because it's King of the Hill. It's not your standard 5 CP, and Bagel as well can just be so chaotic. So if G6 picked that, they're obviously feeling confident about it. They're probably feeling confident about their DM, and if it means that they're able to just lock down the soldiers, it'd be something that FroyoJiminy need to fix sooner than later. But I mean, even though we've already seen a little bit of gameplay right now, so it's not going to be the most uninformed prediction. We are going to be going live with this second part of the first map. Moses, take us away on this first map, and also quickly, who do you think is going to win the first map?
In my heart, I pray for G6 to win the first map. I'm a G6 fan, and it also guarantees that we go to that third map. If Froyo wins Bagel, which I am all for. I'm all up for casting some good TF2. But also, Froyo Tech, they've been showing that they know what they're doing. But let's skip that for a moment as Lol Guy is fighting demons out here. As soldiers are just jumping at him left and right. Banny going to be able to find Logan here. A friendly reminder that the score limit, or the score right now, is 2-1 in favor of Leica G6. They do wipe on that mid there, which is rather unfortunate, dropping Lol Guy as well. I think Froyo has decided they want to lock in, and they want to take home Snakewater and maybe try and take home Bagel as well. And poor Sophie Meister getting cratered by Banny with a little nice try dropped in chat.
Yeah, a little NT, thrown in chat right there. As I said, I think the first time these guys played, I always love to see the banter between them, but it was a huge nuke from Patty to actually get the majority of the damage onto the G6 combo. So immediately coming from the break, refreshed and ready to frag, and because of that, Froyo going to be able to walk in on the left side. They are going to have Uber advantage. Bot mode is up on Sniper, trying to see if they maybe can get a shot, but the Uber has been called from Hubba, launching Artist into the sky. Banny as well. They haven't found any picks just quite yet. They've actually lost one of their own, and Caps on that heavy, just melting players left, right, and center. High Five as well picks one onto Brand Flame, as we've seen so many times. The only two alive on Froyo gonna be Artist and Hubba, but Logan bombing in. Hubba, amazing surf to get out here. Is Logan on the chase, gonna get him, and he does.
Artist!
Oh my god, that was exceptional from Logan. Artist as well, being able to get on to Sophie. Just both demos going incredibly huge right there.
I I am in awe, really, of what I just watched Logan do, and then on the tail end of that, leaving back to watch as Hubada leaves through lower, watching Artist get completely isolated, and then just hit 2 downward directs onto Sophie, completely obliterating him and just sending him into the abyssal plane, making him watch that respawn clock. Oh my goodness, the demos in this game are really, really showing themselves up here, and I thought it was looking pretty rough for the side of like a G6. You know, they were struggling really hard, but then Cap came up with that heavy and just absolutely melted the entirety of FroyoJiminy here. And I do know that Banny is up on Sniper as well. So it does look like a G6 wants to take this in through the right side, and that's exactly what they are going to do. As Sentry goes down, and they've got the stickies up on the left side of spawn already, and it looks like bot mode going for a lot of cap time here, and it is successful. It's about halfway, but they drop 2 players, now 3 players. The only person they have to show for it is Patty, and their health is really bad. Log guy, about 60 HP, is going to go down. Sophie Meister, the last man standing, is stuck inside of Shutter and can't go for anything. That's a full team wipe for the side of like a G6.
Yeah, FroyoJiminy having an exceptional last hold there. I gotta say, I don't know what launched Lol Guy over there, but he had, once again, a glorious surf to his unfortunate demise there. He's been having a few of them. A nice trap from Logan over onto Logs. We'll have to see if maybe that gets someone standing onto the point. A few players on like a G6 just trying to defend here. As actually it's gonna be high five, getting on the gun again, might be able to get on the Artist as well. Launched into the sky. Oh my god, just barely misses. All those shots headed towards him. Hubada, nice surf to stay alive over onto the catwalk. Bot mode chasing Patty over into kitchen. Might be able to get out and meet up with this medic, but Sophie already in through Saw has been able to cut them off at the pass, and Hubada should be able to get out for free there. Banny, however, is in the back lines, is going to have to try and do something with all these G6 players capturing up his second point.
Banny tries to jump forward and fight bot mode here, dropping the little taunt as well as he gets him. Get that little bit of BM in there. FroyoJiminy does have full Uber out of here, though, so they're just going to try and take second here, but a bomb comes in from high five, landing on top of Hubby. It's a nice rocket, but they're not quite able to put the back cap from bot mode. G6 wins Snakewater off of the back cap.
That was exceptional heads-up play from bot mode. I saw him going to last, but I didn't think he was going to be able to get it in time because Froyo already had a lot of presence over on second. But with that, they, like you said, have been able to win the first map, already looking much, much better than they did in the semifinals where FroyoTech rolled them 5-1. They've been able to take it 3-1 against Froyo, and that was on Froyo's map pick. Now they are going over on to Bagel, where it might be even more in their favor. Quickly though, before we talk about Bagel, let's look at the logs, I guess specifically for that last round on Snakewater. And it was a lot quicker, so the damage is going to be a little bit weirder. But once again, I mean, say what you will about FroyoJiminy, he is doing fantastic at the moment. 377 DPM. Obviously, not a lot of kills out there, but not a lot of kills to go around because it was such short of a round. But 377 DPM. Soldiers looking better on Froyo, but it was just a kind of that back cap play, the chaos from G6. Froyo unable to keep up with it.
Yeah, there was just no real way for Froyo to keep up with the momentum that G6 had gained there. There was just no stopping the players on like a G6 from just steamrolling through, and that is ultimately what gave like a G6 that W. You know, they had so much pressure on that point that everyone was too focused on, you know, staring at it and fighting whatever was in front of them and taking, you know, maybe a 1v1, maybe a 2v1. Bot mode was just able to recognize, like, hey, these guys are just not paying attention. If I can get in through lower or even in through lobby, I could just beeline it to last and win my team this map and potentially secure us a very easy win on Bagel, given that Bagel is like a G6's map pick. So that is the map that they feel they have the strongest chance of winning on, especially as they're the B team, so they only have the one pick.
Yep. Because they went into the grand finals from the lower bracket. They were a little bit disadvantaged in terms of the map picks and bans, but at this point, it doesn't matter. They're here on their map pick bagel, and they're in a very good position to try and take this horse run monthly outright after a pretty disastrous loss in the semifinals. It shows why these guys are the champs. They took that loss on the chin, they turned the other cheek, and they are here to win again. Now, it is going to be close, I think. Talk about people who can come back. G6, obviously one of them. But if there's one person, if there's one team, but even if there's one person who's known for being stronger in the second half, it's Banny. I mean, we don't have halftime anymore, but the Banny halftime talk is a legendary. When we did have halftime, there'd be so many times where it was close in the first half. Froyotech were, maybe on the ropes a little bit. It was 2-1, 2-2 something. We get the halftime. Then all of a sudden, after that, Froyotech, they're just a new team. They just roll whoever was giving them trouble initially. Now, of course, this isn't Froyotech, it's FroyoJiminy, but the same thought process still applies. I am sure that Banny and the team are going to be able to take this time and try and figure out what was going wrong there and still try and give it to G6 in this second map. So I wouldn't be too confident. I wouldn't be too cocky, I'd say, if I were like a G6, because this is still a very impressive roster of players that they're having to go up against.
Yeah, like a G6, they have that, morale boost. They've got that momentum from winning Snakewater, but momentum and a morale boost can only take you so far. You have to remember, you're playing up against an amalgam of two of the stronger teams in Invite this season, that being Froyo and Jiminy, merging together to make the team you see before you now. Artist has shown time and time again that they are absolutely, they're an artist with their pipes, man. They just keep hitting them over and over and over again. It's directs only from Artist, and their stickies are just, they're killing everybody. But Logan as well has been showing his prowess. Everybody argues Logan Habib. I'm pretty sure you mentioned this earlier, but they're both just so ahead of the curve when it comes to playing demo that it doesn't make sense to compare them, really. Like, both of these teams have insane players on their rosters, but you have to be a little bit humble if you're G6. You may have beaten FroyoJiminy on their map pick, but that in no way guarantees that you'll win on yours. FroyoJiminy could, know a couple things about your weaknesses on Bagel that you might not even think to be, that big of an issue, and they'll exploit them for every second of time they are worth.
Yeah, it is definitely one of those cases where if you give either of these teams an inch, they will take a mile and a lot more with it. They're just so aggressive, so quick to just take advantage of anything they possibly can. But we do have FroyoJiminy readying up. I am going to press you for predictions on this second map. Do you think that FroyoJiminy are going to be able to win it, take us to a third, or do you think that G6 are going to be able to close it out here and be the winners of the January Horse Run Monthly?
As much as I would like to say I want to see a third map, and I really would like to see a third map, I don't think it's going to happen. But I do think this is going to be one of the closest Bagel games we will see for a while in the Horse Run Monthly. I do think we are going to see, we could potentially even see some kind of 4-3 Bagel game. I think G6 will take it home, and I think G6 will 2-0 in this map, in this series. But I do think it will be extremely close. G6 has a strong opponent to fight up against here. And when it comes to Bagel, this isn't a battle of DM at a certain point. It becomes a battle of endurance and stamina and how long you can, manage to continue playing Koth with all of the chaos it reaps and sows every other fight.
Yeah, that's true. A King of the Hill can be very, very relentless because it is just kind of constant battles, constant team fights, back and forth and back and forth. So you really need to have a pretty good, both mental space and also just DM to keep up with everything. All the players that are just going to be launched into you as some nice air shots being done over in the pregame. Always love to see it coming out from the players. Hopefully that spells some nice air shots for us in the actual game. But to say my prediction, I think that after what we saw, I think G6 are going to take it. It's hard to bet against Froyo or FroyoJiminy, whatever they are, because, Brand Slam is a monster on Scout, and I think if he can just be allowed to be unchecked and run through completely for free, it's going to be very, very difficult for like a G6 to keep up. But if like a G6 are just kind of allowed to play their game how they want to, get Soapy in, allow bot mode to go for kind of little sneaky things and Caps to take the Ubers that he wants, it's going to be hard for Froyotech to contend. So I'm going to say 4-2 in the favor of like a G6. Interestingly enough, we do have a pause in the pregame, so that does mean that at least in terms of in-game time, we're going to be going live pretty shortly here, but already there has been something that has tripped up one of these players. Hopefully it's not someone DCing from the server, because unlike in 5CP, there are not as many moments where having someone DC can be negated quite easily just through placement and stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm kind of worried for Froyo here. We saw them struggling on Snakewater to really make any gains, or at least keep the gains that they had made. So with gains and being able to keep space on Bagel being such a crucial part of playing the map, I am a little bit worried for the performance of FroyoJiminy, but I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised and see them play out of their mind. We did have a little unpause there, so I do think this is just a player disconnect, reconnect issue. Maybe they started a game and they've decided maybe they'll just re-exec the config or something. Gentleman's it. Make sure the first fight goes fair, something like that. Who knows? We will see though once the game actually starts. But yeah, based on these pauses, it is only a matter of time until we actually begin the start of what could potentially be the final map of the January headliner bracket.
Yeah, it's an opportunity for G6 to close it out here as we are unpaused and hopefully should be live pretty shortly, because it kind of implies that they have gone live within the next 90 seconds. So get your predictions in chat now if you were just withholding on them, just trying to see if there's maybe a little bit more analysis you could eke out of it, as I think we're going to be going live pretty soon. And it's going to be exciting to see who wins out. Is it going to be FroyoJiminy, or is it going to be like a G6? All eyes on G6 to maybe close things out here, or on FroyoJiminy to take us to a third map.
I gotta say, remember guys, use your channel points, get in that prediction. You only have about 30 seconds left. Actually, you have about 50 seconds. I lied to you, but you have a close to a minute left to get your predictions in, whether you want to predict like a G6 or whether you want to predict FroyoJiminy here. Now's the time to place your bets. Do a little bit of gamba, as they say. Get it twisted. You will profit. But we are going live for what could potentially, again, be the final map of the January 2025 Horse Run Monthly. This is FroyoJiminy versus like a G6. The two titans of Team Fortress 2 Invite are clashing with one another right now. And we do have the request to re-exec right at the start of the game, as both medics have Uber.
Yeah, I think they paused for a little bit, and they don't have the pause bug fixed. So while the medics were, sometimes if you pause the game and the medic is healing someone, they will get Uber during the pause, which is a little bit unfortunate, but seems like they had forgot to take off the 30-minute map time limit, which I don't know if actually would have done anything, because assumedly they would have at least gotten 3 rounds before that 30 minutes goes, so it just would have been first to 4 anyways. But good heads up play, as now they have got the proper config loaded. It is the standard got to be first to four, however you get there.
Yeah. I'm excited to see this. I mean, there's nothing more I can say really besides I am excited to see what both of these teams have to bring to the table. I mean, Bagel, like we briefly mentioned earlier, it can bring a lot of chaos to comms. It can bring a lot of chaos to positioning, and it can just bring it brings chaos to everything that can have chaos brought onto it. And managing that chaos and minimizing it to the best of your ability is where the better teams on Bagel really start to shine. And I think G6, in terms of managing chaos, definitely has a little bit more, a little bit of an advantage under their belt. But FroyoJiminy has been around for Froyo Tech has been around for a while. I'm not sure how many players on Jiminy that they have taken over for this Horse Run Monthly have been around, but a lot of them know what they're doing. They don't let those nerves get to them, and they're not afraid of playing on a casted match. So now for realsies this time, the two Titans of TF2 Invite are clashing with one another as we go live on Bagel, which could potentially be the final map between FroyoTech and Leica G6. And right off the bat, there's not a lot of damage getting thrown out from either team. No soldiers are wanting to jump across or really even contest height. It's just Logan trying to deny these houses and keeping an eye on them, really making sure no one can waddle through for free. But as soon as he turns his head, it's going to be Banny and Brandslam walking in to, I believe this is Blue House here. Banny almost dying for it as Soapy Meister now jumps through Blue House and lands onto Hubba, beefs the two rockets, lands one. Actually, doesn't even land that last one and has no damage to show for it. And unfortunately for Leica G6, they're going to be down Soapy Meister for just a little bit longer here as we wait for the final, or not final push, but wait for a attempted push to come out through concrete. As they have that Uber, they're probably just looking to bust through. Soapy Meister gets through, everybody's through, there's no stickies to be afraid of. Soapy Meister is going to be able to trade with Banny. A bomb comes in from Patty.
Oh, nice stuff from Banny.
What a force. Oh my goodness. I mean, goodness gracious, what a bomb from Patty there, being able to get that force off of Lol Guy, making sure Hubba can hold on to that full Uber ad. G6 has a lot of time to tick off of the clock now. It looks like FroyoJiminy might know the strategy they want to go for when playing Bagel here.
Yeah, FroyoJiminy are now in the opportunity to try and push out. Like you said, they do have Uber advantage. They're going to be getting out through the left side. Gungan just kind of leading the charge a little bit. The Uber has been used. A very unfortunate bomb from Artist, kind of denied by the angle there. Isn't able to get in as deep with the rest of the team, but Banny and Gungan are just cleaning house regardless. Logan and Caps both going to go down. They have regained control of the point. It is going to be Uber advantage now for Leica G6, so a little bit of a the kind of a leapfrog situation that we see sometimes on 5CP happening here in this Bagel match. Gonna be trying to get out on the right side. They're taking a bit of damage. High Five's gonna have to wait for an error. Everyone on FroyoTech kind of pushed back a little bit. Soapy over in the house, and the question is, how do they take this Uber? Soapy going down is not going to inspire a lot of confidence, but they're getting a lot of cap time onto the point. FroyoTech actually just going to let them have it. Maybe now a call for them to try and get aggressive and force out the Uber from Lol Guy. You have Brandslam over in the house, kind of rushing over on High Five. A soldier comes around to try and help. They're doing a lot of damage onto these G6 players, and they're going to be able to capture up the point right under their noses. The Uber call comes out. Caps going in very deep. It's going to get the pick onto Lol Guy, but now the counter Uber from Froyo is going to be a lot later. They had the opportunity to chase a bit deeper. They opt not to, just to try and play their position. Soapy are going to get in behind, and immediately again G6 just retake the point. These teams are so quick to try and get it whenever they see an opportunity to do so.
Yeah, G6 and Froyo really showcasing their ability to just take aggression, you know, whenever you think they might not be able to dish it out. They serve you up a full platter, all the courses of the day that you need of aggression, and they perform extremely well with it. It does look like FroyoJiminy wants to push forward. Ubers are exactly even, pretty much. So Ubers could potentially come out at the exact same time as we wait for something to happen. FroyoJiminy is trying to get as much time off of the cap as possible to try and flip it blue, but it does look like that Uber is going to come out from the side of Leica G6. They're going to have to run forward and force Hubada out here, but the Uber is already over for Leica G6, and it's just beginning to end for the side of FroyoJiminy. They're going to lose Logan. They're going to lose High Five. Logguy manages to survive, but has no one to escort him out and has no one to save. Soapymeister is still alive in the backline, potentially able to go for something. Does land on the point, tries to fight, but isn't able to find anything and dies late to Patty and Gungan here. So Leica G6 does have a lot of cap time taken off. There's about a minute left on the clock for them to whittle away at. But a minute is a minute, and that is a minute of time that FroyoJiminy has to plan out some kind of forward hold.
Yeah, Banny getting very aggressive over in lobby is going to trade with Soapymeister. Artis finding the response kill onto that, but with Gungan going down, this is going to be a lot better for Leica G6. They have the faster spawners now, and they've got the player advantage. You see Logan jumping over on the point. Artis is so weak, just barely being able to stay alive here, but Brandslim wants this Uber. He's taking it in. Patty, nice bomb onto Logan. Good kill there. Logguy doesn't have Jess quite yet, but almost does so. But G6 are going to come right back in, but High Five onto Hubada. Getting that pick is going to allow G6 so much more room here. They have to keep Logguy alive, though, because everyone on Froyo going to try and force him out. There comes the bomb from Patty. He's going to get denied. Nice stuff from Cap. Still, the Uber is going to be forced. They can clean up all these players without losing anyone else. Is going to be really good for Leica G6. They find Grand Slam. They just have to find Banny, who's in the backline. So they're going to capture up the point regardless and have only 40 seconds left on the clock to try and whittle down with very, very slight Uber advantage.
I had to take a drink of my water. I couldn't properly react to the bomb that came through and took down Hubada, but that's monumental for Leica G6 in that fight there. Banny is going to try and push through left house, and Patty's actually going to commit to going through fully, bombing out from concrete and landing in main. Does have a lot of players looking back for him, though, as Banny tries to land on top of Logguy. Is going to die for it. Grand Slam, Patty, and Hubada all going down here. Hubada dying for the second time in rapid succession. Gungan able to find bomb mode, but not before getting not for long able to reap the benefits of it, as Soapymeister hits a disgusting rocket onto Banny, and it looks like this first round is going to go rather decisively in the hands of Leica G6, but there is still a little bit of cap time here, so if any player on the side of FroyoJiminy is able to get through undetected, it might spell the end, but not quite, as Leica G6 is able to hold on and keep those doors stuffed, and they are going to take the first round on Bagel.
They are going to be able to take the first round. A good opening statement round for Leica G6, saying, all right, this is our map. This is why we picked it. We're the best. Your response now, please. And FroyoJiminy have to figure out what the response is, because that previous one, not good enough to net themselves a round win. They're going to be looking to try and tie things up here as we go in on to the next minute. Soapymeister very aggressive over in the kind of right house from his point of view, getting pushed now by Gungan, is barely going to be able to stay alive. Both of them trading a lot of damage. Logan with a long-range pipe going to be able to clean him up. Banny is going to be taken down as Soapymeister just jumps, and High Five goes in. A lot of damage onto Brandslam. He's going to be able to get that one. Artis is very weak, trying to escort his medic out to safety. Now getting bombed over by High Five. Oh my god,
no.
Just a collapse on all the FroyoJiminy players trying to get out there. Really great aggression from Leica G6, capturing up the point, getting themselves Uber advantage, and making it look pretty nice to boot.
Yeah, Leica G6 there. Very strong opening round, or opening fight even, not even opening round. The point has only recently been capped. You know, they had a lot of time to try and get some, time ticked off the clock, but unfortunately they're only able to get about 20 seconds before Froyo is able to push in. Banny's going to be bombing onto concrete, and they're landing on the wall guy, forcing out that Uber, which isn't too terrible for the side of Leica G6. That is a successful 4-man for the side of FroyoJiminy. But with Logguy surviving and both of the scouts on the side of Leica G6 surviving as well, it is entirely possible for them to build this. They will have to play passive, as they are at about 50% Uber disad. But if FroyoJiminy takes a little bit too long to set up, it looks like Leica G6 may just be able to catch up a little bit as they get to 60, just as FroyoJiminy is about to position themselves to push out. 70% now for Like a G6, and that Uber is going to come out from the side of Hubba. Artist is going to be bombing forward, trying to land onto Long Guy, but not quite able to find anything. This is a very, very poor Uber from the side of FroyoJiminy as they find 0 picks for it. Now Like a G6 with 90% Uber has to defend their medic very, very well. Otherwise, they may just lose their one opportunity to regress on the point. Long Guy's getting bombed. The air shot is missed, but Long Guy craters. Oh no, he doesn't crater. Brandslam is able to find him. He's not protected. Dies with 98% Uber, and that's a full team wipe for Like a G6.
Yeah, that is a full team wipe for Like a G6, a good position to be in for FroyoTech, but still, it is going to be a minute advantage for G6 at the moment. They have a minute more off the clock than FroyoJiminy do, so still a long ways for FroyoJiminy to come back into this round. You immediately see the soldiers getting aggressive, kind of busting through that left side door. Soapy and High Five just getting through basically for free. They're taking a bit of damage, but no one dying, and now High Five is actually going to crater, but Soapy Meister from behind wrapping around, just causing more chaos and more distraction plays. Patty over in the house for an air shot. Actually, it's going to be stolen by Gungan. Still going to be able to get the pick off on the caps. The Uber has been used from FroyoJiminy. Are they going to be able to get any players here? There's still one in the back lines. It is going to be Soapy. Not going to be able to trade out with Banny, but at the end of the day, that's going to be a lot better for Like a G6. They're able to keep Lil Guy alive. They're going to have Uber advantage to work with here, and they also have the faster spawners because they don't have control of the point, so they should be able to re-push in here a little bit quicker than FroyoTech are going to be ready.
Like a G6 here is absolutely ready to try and bust out and recapture this point. With FroyoJiminy not having that Uber, it is just, it's a no-brainer for Like a G6 to try and push out. But there's a bomb coming out from Banny, is going to get taken out in the air. But Lol Guy's getting jumped by Patty. Patty's able to get that force out with no one able to defend Lol Guy. That Uber has to get used. And now Hubba with 70% is going to be attached to Gungan here. And they're going to flip that cap over pretty much as soon as Like a G6 was able to take it. But actually, they're not capping just yet. They don't want to deny Patty, but now they're going in for that cap, and it is about to go through. Like a G6 is actually able to get some bodies on the point, though, to block it. It's going to be a bomb coming in from Logan. Maybe not the play there. A little bit of a feed from Like a G6, but I guess if Brandslam is dead and you can afford to send someone, you might as well. The rest of Like a G6 is pulling up very, very slowly. Soapy Meister potentially looking for some kind of angle to jump from, but also looking like he just wants to play around his B, but no, he's going in deep, landing in their backline, going to be landing in
nice
lower,
shot.
Grabbing the pack. What a shot from Brandslam. Going to be able to take down High Five there, and that Uber does come out from the side of FroyoJiminy, but Lol Guy is still alive for the time being.
Artist.
But as soon as I speak, Artist comes in with the halves out of Oichi and is able to get the pick. Now
what the demo MGE
Logan.
on the bounce pad.
Artist wins!
Oh my god.
Goodness.
The demos were MGing. They were melee MGing on the jump pad in lobby. You don't see that too many times. It's not often, honestly, that the jump pad really has too much of an effect. But that time it made for a truly magical moment between the two artists, winning the better of that one, allowing FroyoJiminy to still have control of the point. They're trying to forward hold here. Soapy, very weak, over in lobby as the rest of his team bust out through the right side of things. They're trying to get as much space as they possibly can, but they're worried because they know FroyoJiminy do have Uber advantage, so they want to get space, but if they do go too far forward, they're at risk at getting Ubered on. Brandslam maybe in position to use it, and it's going to be Gungan launching in with Artist. How many players can they clean up here? They might find one on the caps, and that's going to be the only one that they do get. Actually, no, Banny does get bot mode as well. There is someone in behind. It is going to be Soapy Meister. It's going to be crucial that he stays alive here so his team can come back in with the Uber, and they do. They find one onto Banny. High Five is going to be traded out for that one. Looking a lot better for FroyoJiminy at the moment, though. Oh my god.
Soapy Meister gets taken down by, I think he takes himself out there. Just eats a pipe from Artist there early. Can't get healed up in time. There's not enough players alive on the side of Like a G6 to keep the time on the point from ticking all the way down, keep it up in overtime. So the score's going to get tied up 1-1 here. FroyoJiminy finding their way onto the board.
Yep, now making it a tie game. FroyoJiminy getting themselves into this and trying to keep a hold on to their first place dreams. Going to be all eyes on maybe one of the soldiers to see how they try to initiate, if they do initiate. Just going to be playing the spam game for the moment. Artis and Logan just kind of trading stickies across the point. Gungan now getting onto it with bot mode at the same time, just kind of mirroring each other just a little bit. But it's going to be the Froyo flank over on the right side, kind of bullying High Five out, and they're having a little bit more space over on the point. They should be able to capture it up. There's Soapy Meister jumping around, doing so much damage, going to be shot out of the sky by Brand Slam, and that's going to be a player advantage in the favor of FroyoJiminy. Banny is going to be taken down, however, by bot mode. So the trade's going either which way. Gungan going to be taken down. Brand Slam winning the one against bot mode, and a lot more presence for Leica G6 at the moment. No one, however, has been able to capture it up. G6 are close, but they haven't been able to do it just quite yet. FroyoJiminy just holding on, and the mid-fight continues.
The mid-fight continues on as not a single team has managed to cap it yet, but as soon as I say that, it's going to be G6 capping. Oh my god, what a bomb from Banny as he jumps through and lands on the Logan. Just landing on top of his head, taking him down, but it's going to be Patty, Banny, and Artist all dying for it. Lol Guy does not have Uber on the table, though, which does open a window for FroyoJiminy as they Uber out through concrete. They are going to be busting through. They are going to try and get as many picks as humanly possible, but they're actually not going to be able to get anything as their Uber is rather poor. Banny is going to be able to trade out with Patty as he takes down Soapy, and now bot mode, giving FroyoJiminy at least a little bit of player ad. It is going to be a bomb coming in from Banny as well, landing behind Cap, trying to find the pick. It is going to be successful, and now Brand Slam finding Lol Guy as well. It's a full team wipe for the side of Leica G6, but FroyoJiminy still has to tick down about a minute worth of time to make things truly even.
Yeah, it's a minute worth of time to make things truly even. So Leica G6 are not out of it at all just quite yet. There's still a lot of time to work with before they're even really in the deficit. As they are going to push out. High Five taking a lot of damage. Going to be aggressive bomb coming in from Patty. Does a bit of damage, not enough to get the kill or to force out anything. Lol Guy is actually going to get the air on to one of his scouts as well, as the Uber comes out from FroyoJiminy, just trying to clean up anyone they can. They are going to be able to find Logan, Soapy Meister, and Banny trading shots over on the other side of the map as the FroyoJiminy combo try and back up with their respawners. Everyone on G6 have so much point control at the moment. They haven't gotten the point just quite yet, but they're trying to get it out of Froyotech's noses. Now the bombs coming in from Froyo. Banny going in super deep. Patty, Lol Guy taking so much damage, he's going to be able to stay alive.
Oh, no.
Brand Slam just rushing in. Soapy not able to do enough, but Soapy actually does get onto Hubada, so that might be enough. It's only Banny and Gungan, the last two alive. Gungan might go for something. He's in one of the houses just lurking around. He's going to delay this point capture for as long as he possibly can. Banny just bombing in. He does find one on the caps, and all that's going to do is just delay G6 capping up longer and longer.
Yeah, G6 cap getting delayed here is pretty much the best that Froyo can hope for. They were able to tick off about a minute worth of time just in addition to what G6 had, giving themselves about a minute worth of time advantage. Lol Guy almost dies there, but Gungan is taken down by bot mode as well. It looks like Logan just going to be doing a lot of damage, trying to walk over the point as bot mode is able to take down Patty before Patty is able to find any picks. Looks like Froyotech as well going to be backing all the way out. Logan trying to set up some traps here, and we are witnessing a G6 forward hold yet again. Got to prep for that four-man sack that Froyo has been successful each and every time they have sent it through. Does look like High Five going to get taken down by Gungan here, and now Banny in through Blue House, going to be landing on the wood, trying to fight Soapy Meister. He does manage to get the pack, and Soapy has to pull away. Now Banny's on top of the point, jumping into the Blue House, trying to fight Cap here, and is going to be able to get that kill with the help of Banny. But Soapy Meister with a downward rocket, going to be able to find both Banny and Brand Slam. Trades out with Patty, though. 4 players down, now spawning up for the side of Leica G6. It's definitely possible for Leica G6 to kind of push out and try and hold on to that point for about as long as they possibly can.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate Uber from Leica G6. I mean, they lost one, and then the call they used to Uber was there, but all the players who weren't Uber just immediately melted from the Froyo flankers. Now, G6 have to try and recontest. They are at very, very slight Uber disat. It's not a lot, but if Froyo decide to insta-whiff their Uber, they might be caught out. Brand Slam actually getting onto High Five. There's going to be Soapy going in, gets onto Hubada. That's going to be a huge shift into this match. Lokai has to try and escape. Only has Logan to try and defend.
Brand Slam is coming up on the flank, though.
Yeah, trying to flank is actually going to meet up with the scout instead and going to die to one of his stickies. The Froyo players are in so deep, just trying to get onto whoever they can. They do send Logan to the respawn room, but Logai has been able to emerge unscathed without having to use the Uber. Banny finding another onto Soapy, just being a nuisance right now, has somehow managed to stay alive. G6 are going to get on the point. They're going to deny Soapy Master. They're like, all right, you can sit in the respawn room for a few more seconds. We don't mind. As now Caps wants to take the Uber. It has been used. Hubada is super far away. They are going to find one on the Artist, so no demo for Froyo at the moment. They're still going to try and refight this, however, coming in through the right side. Everyone on G6 diverting their attention over there, just locking them down. But Banny, had the air shot opportunity onto Logai, not going to be able to connect it. And it's still going to be a little bit of Uber advantage for Froyo, but only 40 seconds on the clock for G6.
With that time ticking down, there's only so much time left for Froyo to be making mistakes. And likewise for G6, there's only so much time left for them to be able to make a mistake. Times are practically even here. No time really has a lot of, or no side really has a lot of time add compared to the other. But it looks like Froyo wants to push in through the red house, and they're going to be successful in doing so. They're going to make it onto the concrete, onto red concrete, as Patty is sitting on top of the point, is going to be able to secure this cap form as 3 players die from the side of like a G6. But I think G6 right now is just hoping that they can get this Uber in time. It's 99%. They get the Uber. It's ready. They pop. They're going to be sectioning off Gungan. They're going to be able to take him down. The point has flipped into the hands of FroyoJiminy here, but it doesn't really matter as they're able to take down Hubada. And now Cap is going to get taken down, but not before Logan is able to find Artist. And like a G6 is exploding out. They're able to land back on top of the point. It's Banny jumping forward to try and defend the point with his life, but it doesn't matter. Now Patty coming in, taken down by Bomo and High Five. But at the end of the day, it's too little too late, and G6 is able to get that second round up on the board, making the scoreline 1-2.
Is extremely close at the moment. Both teams were nearly in overtime. Only a couple seconds left on the clock for either of them, and you can tell how much both of them wanted to try and win here, try and get that coveted first place prize in the January Horse Run Monthly, and also for bragging rights as well, which fuels a lot of TF2 rivalries, is the bragging. But we're going to see how this the fourth mid plays out. No one too aggressive at the moment. High Five just getting some good spam damage over onto Artist from the house. It's actually going to be the Froyo flank Brand Slam, and Patty just kind of trying to bully him back. And they do that successfully. Froyo, a bit more cap time onto the point. It's going to be Soapy Meister again, coming in from behind, going for a little drive-by bomb. But Logan with the pipes onto Hubada. Now that's going to call the call for everyone on Froyo to try and get onto Logan if they possibly can. Nice at meat shot from Brand Slam onto Soapy Meister. High Five is in the back lines. Oh my God! High Five onto Brand Slam. That's just a huge shot. He's not stopping. He also gets onto Artist as well. High Five having a huge mid there.
Yeah, that was absolutely massive from High Five. Pretty much guaranteeing his team would win that mid fight, or at least get some time off of the cap. And now with full Uber ad as well, Lol Guy is just anticipating the rest of FroyoJiminy sending 4 players into him. And that's exactly what I think we're about to witness right now, as Banny and Patty do both come forward. Banny is going to fall first, as a lot of the players on FroyoJiminy are dying very early and fragmented. Patty is still able to see through that little crevice in the house, is going to be able to land on top of Lol Guy, but beats the rocket and gets no damage, no fear in not even a single bit of fear in the eyes of Lol Guy, and somehow Hubada dies there as well, which completely negates any need for a 4-man, at least at that moment, or negates any advantage gained from a successful one. But that Uber is going to come out from the side of like a G6, as they are going to run straight into lobby with, I believe this is bot mode, as the target. It is now over. They know that Brand Slam is alive inside of Red House, waiting for anything. Logan trying to section him off, and is going to be able to take down Brand Slam. Now this is a player down for the side of FroyoJiminy, but they are on about 30% Uber ad, which isn't terrible, but it's not enough to really make anything happen, especially while down a player.
Yeah, well, down a player, they're not going to really do anything for the moment. They're just going to wait for their Uber, because they don't want Hubada to go down again and then have to wait another 40 seconds before they're really able to do anything of substance. Now, they're getting onto the point. The flank, actually, both scouts just kind of rushing through the house. One getting onto Banny, doing a lot of damage. They are going to find Logan for the troubles, but they lose 2 on FroyoJiminy, and you can instantly see High Five jumping into the back line. They did capture up the point, but G6 are trying to recapture it right back up. Now now a little bit about Soldier 1v1. High Five winning that one. He is going to still be jumping around, and FroyoTech do have Uber advantage, but now it is equalized out. So if they try and take the trade here, G6 are going to have to immediately repop at a moment's notice. Nice surf from Hubba onto the high ground, but he's taking a bit of damage. He doesn't have all the spawners there. Nice pick actually from Artist. He's going to have to use to the bomb from High Five, and do this Uber get any kills out of G6? I don't think so. Instead, I think Caps is just going to be able to come in with their own Uber if they want to. They find one onto Artist and Hubba. Can they find any more? They find one onto Patty Banny, trying to bomb in onto this Uber as it fades. Not going to be able to be in position at the right time. It's only going to be Branslam, the last one on the point. He does capture it up, but G6 have the players to capture it up right back, and it's only going to be 40 seconds on the clock before G6 take a third round.
Yeah, like a G6 here is definitely looking like they're a strong contender to take this third round. FroyoJiminy has been struggling to even get out of their lobby against this forward hold. You know, they've made it through a couple of times, but they haven't really been able to hold on to that space. But Artist is going to be able to find bot mode. Gungan going to be able to find High Five as well. Now Brandslam finding Soapy, but Soapy is able to get onto Hubba right before he dies, so it doesn't matter. Like a G6 is willing and going to give up this point as Cap just runs with Lol Guy back to spawn. Artist has some traps set up inside of Red House to try and prevent anyone from just jumping through and taking any space that, you know, they're not supposed to take. But right now, like a G6 sitting with that full Uber ad, they're just going to be able to walk through. Soapy Meister jumping through the house, does dodge the stickies just narrowly, but I think spots him for the rest of his team. That Uber does come out from the side of like a G6 as well. Soapy Meister in behind, landing on top of Hubba. One more rocket could take him down, now joined with High Five, but no one's killing Hubba right now. He's still alive, tries to go for the melee. Dow finally does take down Hubba. 7 seconds left on the clock for like a G6 to take this round home. Banny on concrete, trying to jump forward, trying to block the point with his life for the rest of his team to get over there, but the scoreline is now 1-3 as like a G6 has made it match point, and they've made their intention clear. They have no thought of losing this map, and they want to take this one home as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I mean, it's really the soldiers, Soapy and High Five. It seems like every time FroyoJiminy try and push, there's a soldier behind them waiting to collapse. And there's been so many times where Soapy just kind of gets through flank for free, and then High Five as well. I mean, that time there were 2 people on the Hubba's case, not much you can do there. So if Froyo want to try and come back here, they really have to lock down these trolls. They have to keep tabs on all of the soldiers at all times. Speaking of, Soapy Meister over in the house, getting some good damage onto Gungan, just gonna wrap around, peeling back, just gonna be a little bit of a nuisance. Logan doing a lot of damage on a Gungan. Gungan super weak. Banny is gonna fall to his demise after helping take down Logan. Now Patty jumping in very deep onto Lol Guy. Not gonna be able to get the kill here, but on the other side of things, Hubba did have to use High Five. Nice force from him. Lol Guy is going to be able to stay alive. They are going to lose control of the midpoint, but they are going to have Uber to come right back in.
Yeah, like a G6 here, just sitting with that full Uber ad. There's nothing in the world that could potentially stop them besides maybe a crazy sticky sink with a double soldier bomb that, you know, just is so much damage that Lol Guy doesn't even have a millisecond to react. But that Uber is going to come out from like a G6 as they bomb Logan over. Isn't able to find anyone. High Five and Cap are able to find Banny and Brandslam though, so it is at least even players. But with Hubba now at 65% Uber and healing online for FroyoJiminy, they have the opportunity to kind of come in, but the players are respawning for the side of like a G6, and they can cap this point if they please, and that is exactly what they are going to do. But again, big Uber ad for the side of FroyoJiminy. Like a G6 can't hold too far forward unless they fall victim to a Uber check, and that might be what's happening here as Lol Guy is able to actually get out as Logan, High Five, and Bot Mode are all 3 taken down. This is not looking great for the side of G6, at least in the current moment. They are down a little bit of time, but it's not crazy disadvantage in terms of the timers at the top of the screen.
No, not too much in terms of time so far, but G6 gonna have the opportunity to try and push out with their own Uber. High Five is gonna be taken down, but the Uber has been used. Logan bombing in super deep. Can they find Hubba? He does. Nice pipe from him. Brandslam is gonna be caught out, just trying to stay alive, but they're just collapsing and all the people into house. It's only gonna be Banny, one of the last ones up. He's just surfing over to his side of the map. Patty coming in from behind. Had the opportunity for a great flank, but unfortunate for him, not enough to get the damage and get the kill. So it is going to be G6 with a very, very good Uber. They're going to recap up the point, and now they're going to have a very big Uber advantage as well because they were able to kill Hubba, their little guy, staying alive throughout all of that. And FroyoJiminy are really on the back foot here. This is starting to approach do or die territory.
Yeah, this is absolutely starting to reach into that kind of that time difference where it's like, okay, we really can't afford to be making these huge mistakes anymore. Maybe in the first couple rounds, you know, we could make some tiny mistakes, iron them out as we go forward. But now FroyoJiminy does not have the opportunity to really make any crazy mistakes here. And with Leica G6 being down 2 players, this is their opportunity, if they ever did have one, to try and sack on the Lol guy. But they're not going to go for it. With Cat being dead, that was kind of their one shot, and they're not going to go for it. Logan is going to be alive behind that point there. It's just going to get arrow tanked. It is going to be Patty bombing into the blue house to try and force the soldiers away. Logan is going to die here from Banny Brand Slam, just blocking that point with his life, really. Cap is trying his absolute hardest to make anything happen, but Artist is going to be able to find him, and Lol guy now dying to the hands of Banny as well. High Five now falling in the tail end of that fight. Not a lot of G6 players are able to escape that. Bot mode trying to push out through lower. There's just only so much that these players can do, but Logan does manage to make Patty crater at the very least.
Yeah, and it's looking doable for FroyoJiminy here. They do have a little bit of Uber advantage, but they have to worry about Leica G6 just going in for a 6-man and getting the better trade of it, as it seems like their soldiers have been having a lot more success just getting in behind. Banny and Soapy gonna meet over in the house, just gonna say hello to each other, how do you do, and back up. Both get rebuffed and try and stay alive for this incoming team fight. Again, slight bit of Uber advantage for FroyoJiminy. I don't think they're gonna take it in aggressively, but if Leica G6 get too aggressive themselves, they might have a very unwelcome surprise in their face. They're getting a bit of cap time onto the point, just trying to see how much they can get it before FroyoTech try and use their Uber to block the point. At the moment, no one going for anything too aggressive. The Froyo flank actually kind of pushing that house, but now the Uber does come in. Cap's going in super deep. Hubba is going to use, but he doesn't have anyone to use it on. He's just looking around wildly. Now finally, Gungan comes in. They go across the point. Banny going in for a bomb, gets kind of levitated into the sky by a nice rocket, waiting for an arrow. It's going to be taken down. It's just chaos on the point. Seems like FroyoJiminy might have the better of it. Soapy Meister, however, is getting in behind once again. He has not been spotted as Patty takes down bot mode. Soapy Meister could go for a pick onto Hubba if no one is watching, but finally Gungan has his angle covered, and that is going to be FroyoJiminy holding on to the point. Only 10 seconds left onto the clock. G6 need to do something here if they want to close it out, but even more, FroyoJiminy have to hold on to this if they want to stay in this game, and they are going to be able to. They make it 3-2, and they are still holding on by a thread, Moses.
Yeah, FroyoJiminy is holding on for dear life here. They don't want this game to end. They really, really, really want to be able to take this to a third map, as they lost their pick. They're not able to make any more mistakes on this map. You know, if they make any more mistakes with the time differences that we saw earlier, it could spell the end of them. And this Horse Run Monthly, the January Horse Run Monthly, could be over sooner than they would hope for. Banny already extremely weak at the start of this mid, and G6 is just throwing damage across the point like it's nobody's business. Logan is getting so many good sticks across the point. There's a little bit of cap time in their favor, but it does quickly melt away, as Hubba is about half HP here. Optimal time for maybe Soapy or someone to get in for a bomb. It looks like High Five is going to be going for that.
Oh my God,
as well.
Five.
Oh my goodness, it's nuclear from High Five as he's able to land on the Artist. Gungan going down as well, with Soapy Meister landing on the hub. They only lose High Five for this as well. Patty dying. Lol guy almost dies here, but not quite, and is saved by his players, living on quite literally practically 1 HP, and is able to hold on to that Uber percentage, however small it may be. Ad is ad, especially on Bagel.
Yep, even on a Bagel, ad is ad, and FroyoJiminy have to try and figure out some way to try and combat that. It seems like they want to push out through the right side, recognizing that G6 don't have Uber just quite yet. Banny getting very aggressive over in the house. Has got 2 G6 players on his case. He's going to have to back up, but it does allow his team space to get right back up and try and contend this midpoint. They do have to be a little bit precarious, though, a little bit nervous, sorry, because G6 do have that Uber Brand Slam. Very aggressive, is actually just going to get melted by Caps there on the point. So now Froyo in an even worse position because they don't have that main player and they don't have artists, they don't have their demo, they're just losing. G6 just taking so much space, but Lolguy is gonna have to use a nice bomb from Patty to get that out from Lolguy. He was milking onto it, he was trying to hold for as long as he can, but once he saw that third rocket come out, he knew. Halbada at a little bit of worry, trying to get into the spawn door, should be able to do so, and is going to be able to guarantee his team do have Uber advantage to try and repush in. But the thing is, G6 already basically have a minute 30 off the clock. It's going to be very difficult for FroyoTech, even if they do get this point, to hold on to it for that amount of time.
Yeah, but, you know, we've seen crazier happen throughout this cup. You know, we've seen FroyoJiminy come back from even crazier things, and likewise we've also seen G6 come back from crazier things as Banny is able to win that duel with Soapy Meister in their back line. That Uber did come out from the side of FroyoJiminy as well, but they didn't get any picks for it. They barely got any damage out of it as well. That is a little bit of a skirmish happening between High Five and I believe this is Brand Slam and Banny in the red house. Looks like the Uber from G6 is going to get popped, and they're going to be running across the point with it. They are going to be able to find Artist here as well. Not quite able to find Patty here, and that is just a 1-kill Uber. Banny going to be able to find Cap as soon as that Uber is over. It is a bomb coming from Soapy Meister onto Hubada. One nice rocket is all it takes to take him down, and Hubada does die for that, which guarantees that like a G6 is going to be able to have a good chunk of Uber ad. Logan might die here, though, as Patty bombs forward. 1 HP when he lands, though, and now Lolguy still alive,
Artist!
but not for long.
Artist
comes in. It gets 1, 2, not quite able to find 3 as bot mode takes him down, but that Uber ad that G6 had just secured is no longer on the table.
It is no longer, and that was looking really, really good for G6 before that, but Artist just came in and absolutely salvaged that for his team. It's still going to be rough for FroyoJiminy. Only less than 40 seconds actually on the clock, and a huge bomb coming in from High Five takes down Hubada once again. High Five getting Gungan, and now it's desperation for Froyo. Patty does find Lolguy, but they need picks more than anything there. They're all falling, and it's going to be no one alive. Hubada is the only sole survivor, and sure, you did get Lolguy, but at this moment, Ubers don't really matter. You need players. There's only 10 seconds left for G6 to hold on to the point. They have a lot of cap time, Froyo, so if they just get to the point, they might be able to stay in this grand finals a little bit longer, but if not, G6 are going to be your victors for today. They're getting up to the point. They're capturing it up, and they have almost just barely been able to go on it. Caps just trying to block the cap for everything that it's worth. Froyo trying to combat it right now. G6 now, it's going to be a full team fight overtime for like a G6. Froyo on the point. They've not been able to capture it just quite yet. Patty, nice opening pick onto bot mode. The soldier's going to be bombing in. Patty doing a lot of damage. It's going to be a melting from Froyo onto G6. It's only going to be the combo left alive. High Five trying to go for a play over around it. It's going to be levitated. Can he get on the Hubada? Hubada surfs. Oh my god, he barely stays alive.
Hubada living there is going to be absolutely monumental for FroyoJiminy. Although the Ubers are pretty much even, I do think G6 could potentially win a Uber exchange here. But, you know, FroyoJiminy, we have seen crazier happen from them, and I do think that it is possible for FroyoJiminy to hold on to this point for just a little bit longer. The Uber does come out from the side of like a G6. They're going to have to go forward and try and get Hubada to use, which they are successful in doing. But now, Lolguy has got to get out of here, at least for now, and wait for his players to show up. It is Artist dead. Gungan has just respawned. High Five is still waiting in that respawn queue. Now, a lot of players just trying to trade spam up the top of that point. Banny does go down, but so does Logan as Brand Slam is in on Red Concrete, in on top of Cap. Is going to be able to find that pick onto him, and now probably going to be able to find Lolguy as well, but no! They forget about the point. They all keep dying, and G6 is going to win the January 2025 Horse Run Monthly and take home the $300 prize with TC score prediction of 4-2 being the correct prediction.
I'm not going to pretend like I knew. I was just going for a shot in the dark. But Huge congratulations to Leica G6 for winning it out. You know, it was looking pretty rough for them in the semifinals. Froyotech, they rolled them. Let's be real here. But G6 coming back, winning the first map. A fairly close Snake Water was a nice back and forth game. And then once we got to their map pick, Bagel, they came alive and were able to just take down Froyotech at every single opportunity. And they are going to be your victors for the January Horse Run Monthly. So congrats to G6. If you are Froyo, though, or FroyoJiminy, if we're saying their full proper name, still not too bad to come second. Still get a nice portion of the prize pool, and which will probably help them in their season and maybe a few land expenses. But I mean, if we can look at the logs, it's always interesting to see because even though Froyo lost, one person had an amazing game, and that was Brand Slam. 43 and 29, 422 DPM. This man
My
is a
goodness.
machine, even if he loses. Like, it doesn't matter. Brand Slam is just there when he's on the flank scout. He's unleashed. He's ready to roam, and he's ready to kill. So Brand Slam having an amazing game individually, even if his team wasn't quite there. But to counter that, Caps also having a really, really great game. 37 and 19, 395, so not too far away from Brand Slam.
Yeah, not too far away at all. And I mean, man, 422 DPM, going 43, 16, and 29, managing to keep up a 2.0 KD on Scout when you're just when you're down 2 rounds pretty much the entire game, and a 36-minute of Bagel is absolutely insane. But then we look at the top Scout for G6 going 32, 37, 22, and 19. Not quite the DPM of Gungan here, but is able to dish out a lot more damage and is just in more fights. Whether or not, you know, those fights are important is up for debate. You know, logs only tell part of the story. But again, massive congratulations to Leica G6 and of course FroyoJiminy as well for making it into the grand finals and winning first and second place respectively. That is about it for us here at the Horse Run Monthly cast. I do want to take a moment and say once more that the Horse Run Monthly has merch you can access by typing !merch in chat. And if you use code HORSERUN, you get 10% off of your order. They've got hats, they've got hoodies, they've got t-shirts, they've got pants, my man. They've got everything you will need to look good potentially for an upcoming LAN, which is the Fireside Fizz Gun Denver LAN, happening from May 24th to the 26th, all the way down in Lakewood, Colorado. The first intercontinental TF2 LAN since I-69, if I remember correctly, featuring G6, your Horse Run Monthly champions. They're going to have Witness EU, and they're also going to have Witness AU, and the Dot Hogs are going to be making their appearance as well, all competing for the $2,500 prize pool, potentially even more. And finally, a big thank you to Gamer Latam for helping us actually set up the Horse Run Monthly and providing a lot of the help for setting everything up. And of course, social medias for Gamer Latam, you can find them on TikTok and YouTube, and watch some Soul Melter Smash, which is a SoCal local Smash thing. If you're interested in Smash or just any kind of other esports in general, you want to watch some good just local fun and even maybe partake, Gamer Latam Soul Melter Smash is the place for you to go. But that is probably going to do it for us here at the Horse Run Monthly. Congrats again to Leica G6 for taking home the nice $300 prize pool. And we will see you next month when the next Horse Run Monthly rolls around.